Hey YouTube, it's me, Ricky Robotsky, and thank you so much for tuning in and watching the Ricky Robotsky Show. I know it's been a while. I am so sorry. I was in the middle actually of a miracle. Things were happening so well for me during the last time I shot an actual show, so to speak. Things were moving. Not things were moving. I was moving. My roommate was so awesome for coaching me and allowing me to just kind of build myself back up from where I came from, which we'll talk about that later. But it was a lot going on in my life, and my past roommate and roommates reached out to me and was helping me so much, and had allowed me to build up my future back again, so to speak. So during that time of me moving, during the time I started recording, was also the time I had pretty much 30 days after my roommate and I agreed that I would move out and get my own place, which I'm so excited now because I feel free. Not that I was trapped with my roommates, but I feel free. It's my own place, and just the little things that we take for granted. Like, it feels so good to just wake up and go to the fridge in my underwear without having to worry about putting clothes on. So it's great. And it's just been such an amazing year. 2018 and 2019 have both been really good years so far, in the midst of me losing my grandmother last August. So it's been a struggle, but yet it's been kind of really good too as well. Things were changing at my job. Since the very first video I recorded, I was actually just promoted to another department in my job, and then now I'm back in my department, in my previous department that I left, making more money, and it's just been amazing. Since the last time I think I recorded, I had wound up getting a new car. I wind up meeting new people that need to be in my life. I reignite some old candles, or light fire, as they say, with some old friends, and we kind of got to regroup and get together again. So it was really great. And the whole experience of my growth and development has been amazing. And however, I was just lacking something, and it was energy to record. And this is something that I enjoy doing, and I love, talking to people and being social. And this is one of the best platforms to do it on, is YouTube. So it's just really been great, and I'm glad to be back. So far, from May till now, I'm actually just now making this place home. Finally got internet. I was able to record. I should have been able to record before, but y'all know nothing really good waiting on a video to upload using data from your cell phone company. So we're back now, and now you hear the backstory. Let's get back to the topic. So tonight, on tonight's show, I wanted to talk about where we left off, about spotting red flags and dating. Well, this topic tonight is going to be about cheating, open relationships, and gaslighting. But before we get started, I'll give you 30 seconds to get your tea, your popcorn, whatever you want to watch. Whatever you want to eat. What is up with me tonight? Whatever you want to eat, and we'll get it started. So you know the deal. Let's run it. Alright, so here we are. We're talking about, I know earlier I said cheating and gaslighting. I meant to say cheating and gaslighting. And for those of you who don't know what gaslighting is basically when someone makes you out to be pretty much essentially crazy. They try to, flip the script, make it seem like you're crazy. Like, if you're saying, hey babe, why did you put this on the floor? And I told you this a million times, don't leave your shoes in front of the floor. And then they turn around and go, you're crazy, you're always nitpicking. And they just try to make it seem like you're the problem instead of actually acknowledging the problem. But there's so many different techniques A lot of people think it's just one little thing. A lot of people think gaslighting is basically when they turn it around on you or try to change the story to make you seem like the victim, the victim, the seem like you're the bad guy, which it is. But there's so many other techniques that gaslighting involves, and also open relationships. And honestly, what I'm about to say, that probably is a part of gaslighting in some situations, because I know there are some couples out there that prefer or have agreed to do open relationships. But then there are ones that I think that they do it solely based on being gaslit by the other person, or in fear of losing someone, because you think you may not move on again, or you love that person so much you really don't want to let them go, so you're willing to allow an open relationship just to keep this individual around. And there are a group of people, unfortunately, that are like that. Now, I'm not knocking anybody's relationship, because there are some people who live in non-monogamous relationships and are okay with it, which is totally fine. But then what's not fine is knowing that your partner, your significant other, whatever you want to call it, that they're out going around cheating on you, and they're using that as a cover-up to be greedy. And that's not good. That's when it becomes unhealthy, and that's when you need to find a nice little suitcase, go inside your drawer, wherever your clothes are, put them all in a bag along with your toothbrush and your deodorant and all your other toiletries, zip up the bag, place it behind you, walk out the door, and never return. But in some cases, there's some people who just can't seem to leave. And when that happens, oh God, you're missing out on so many great things, because there's somebody out there for you that will be willing to take you in and to love you and give you the love that you deserve. And I know there's cases where some people think they probably won't find anybody as attractive or as nice, or makes you feel the way they feel when they do treat you good. But don't just sit there and suffer and take this gaslighting, because you know, one, you're being cheated on, two, you're trying to make a sacrifice, or three, you think you may be trying to make it work, and you're really not. You're making it worse on yourself, and you would never be able to truly, genuinely discover who you are if you're busy trying to discover someone else and please them when you know you're not happy, because you have to love yourself more before you can love anybody else. There are people, unfortunately, that fake it and think they're going to fake it till they make it. And they enter these relationships, and then they stay in these relationships. And there's people that I personally have encountered that they have been in relationships for about 4 to 5 years. And these people get inside these relationships and portray to be happy, and then behind closed doors, they're miserable. And that's never good, to be miserable. So you have to learn when to stand up for yourself, and to learn what you really truly want. And you know that you deserve somebody better, whether if you know it or not. Some people actually don't know their worth. And if you don't, like in my last video, I told you that you're priceless, and you're worth more than all the money in the world, and that's how that person should treat you. And if I have any little sisters watching by chance, there's my sisters by blood, and that's why I call my village sisters, my sisters that I personally went around the world adopting. And I know that a lot of my sisters, my real blood sisters, are getting older now, and they're actually hopping into these serious relationships. And me being the overprotective brother that I am, I only can pray for them, because I know that I had to learn over the years that they're eventually going to grow up one day, and they're going to jump into these relationships, and they're going to probably face some problems, God forbid. And one thing I do want all of them to know is that you don't ever have to feel obligated to be someplace you don't want to be. And that's with a guy or a girl, whatever they're into, that doesn't treat them well, and that doesn't explore their worth or show their worth. And I always tell my sisters, I've told one sister I know for sure, that she has to pretend like she's the Queen of England or a queen in general. You know, when you're up here, there's no reason to go down here or to stoop down on someone's level who's not even deserving of your time, let alone your love. So the heart is such an important organ, and metaphorically, the heart meaning like love, you know, the love heart. When you give somebody your heart, you give somebody your all, of course, you want that same reciprocation, and a lot of people don't give it. So sometimes you feel like you were giving more love than you're receiving, and when that happens, that's typically one good sign that's a toxic relationship and is damaging to your heart, and you need to leave as soon as possible. Another form of that is, let's see here, maybe you're not into an open relationship. Maybe this person is just outright cheating and you know they're cheating, and you're willing to stay in this relationship for some odd reason. And I'm still doing studies and research on that. And how I do my studies and research, so none of this is medical or clinical or psychological or psychiatric advice. This is things that I've either seen, have experienced, read up on, and just got to know. I experienced it myself a few years ago, being gaslamped, and this was just with a friend. Like, I got I keep saying gaslighted, or gaslit. I guess let's just say gaslamped. It works better for me. And it was just a toxic relationship, and I knew that the only way that I was gonna fix this was just simply leave, because some people you really can't fix depending on how far they're into their crap, and you just have to let them be, and nothing's wrong with that. But I really encourage anybody who's watching this that's in a bad relationship, I would love to discuss it with you. If you have a comment that you want to add and you want to discuss it, you tell me, click on it, we can exchange emails and we can talk about it. For those of you who know me closely, you already know all my information, my whereabouts, and we can talk about it, because no one deserves to be in that situation. So basically what I wanted to say is, if you know someone or yourself that's in a type of relationship like this, it's time to get out now. You don't deserve it, and there's somebody out there for you. You just don't have to stay in close, because you're missing out on so much. And there's somebody out there that's probably going to treat you right. They can't find you because you're in the middle of this crap, dealing with someone who really and truly, fundamentally doesn't even want you and doesn't really care about you, because if they did, they'd stay there. Now, on the other hand, I know that some of you would give this a thumbs down if you're in an open relationship and is not agreeing at all with what I'm saying. And that's totally fine, because you guys are both consenting that it's okay to have an open relationship. But this video is solely for people who are in an open relationship and are not okay with being in an open relationship. You guys are, like the word they say these days, low key upset about it, but you're sitting there dealing with it because you probably either don't want to move on, don't think you can move on, or this person has manipulated you so much to make you believe that you can't move on. So, and if you're in this situation, please trust me, stand up for yourself and love yourself first, because when you love yourself first, other people can love you, because you're going to be so busy trying to make these other people happy. And I always like to say, vision your heart, like this mug here. I'm drinking my tea. This is what I call my none of my business mug. So if some of you follow me on social media, you'll know that I do the little Kermit the Frog. That's none of my business. But imagine if your heart was like this. It was full. And every time you date somebody or you get inside a bad relationship, you give this person some of your love, and they take it, they drink it, and they go give it to someone else, and it's pretty much wasted. So eventually, you keep doing it, your cup is going to be empty, and that's exactly what you're going to feel like if you don't leave these horrible, toxic relationships. And that is all I actually wanted to say tonight. I was going to keep it short and sweet, but I just want to get it off my chest. Join me later. I'm going to start uploading more every Thursday around 7 o'clock, because my schedule has changed now. It's going to take me a while to get in. I've been trying to grow out my little beard and stuff, so this is why I look the way I look right now. I wanted to be raw and real with you guys and open, and I want to tell you guys that I love you and I care about you genuinely, and I want to say thank you so much for my subscribers that have already subscribed. You guys already know the deal. You guys hear it from other YouTubers. If you like it, like it. If you love it, subscribe to it. If you really love it and can't get enough of it, turn on that bell and you'll get the notifications every time I upload a video. And I think that's all my announcements for today, guys. And I love you again. Good night. I'm Ricky Rybotsky, and you're watching The Ricky Rybotsky Show.